My name is Celine Tam and I'm from Hong Kong and my talent is singing. I did very well and my whole family was very proud of me. I would like to give myself 100% because I did really well.
Every night in my dreams, I see you, I feel you. That is how I know you go on.
So, when did you realize that you had a great singing voice?
When I was in the car, my dad's driving and then suddenly I just sang My Heart Will Go On and then he was like, wow.
Celine Dion song.
Yeah.
So your voice is outstanding. Absolutely no doubt in that. For me, the song was way too musical theatre.
No.
It was, sorry. And I know, I don't think it showcased your voice.
Imagine you're 9 years old, standing on the world stage, singing one of the most challenging songs ever written, My Heart Will Go On, and nailing it with such precision and emotion that even Simon Cowell is speechless. That's exactly what happened to Celine Tam, a young girl from Hong Kong who stunned millions with her vocal prowess on America's Got Talent. But her story didn't start on AGT, and it certainly didn't end there. In this video, we're going to take a deep dive into Celine Tam's incredible life, her early days growing up in a musical household, the highs and lows of fame after AGT, and what she's been up to since the world first fell in love with her voice. From her roots in Hong Kong to international stardom, Celine's journey is filled with extraordinary moments, perseverance, and a determination that has carried her through the pressures of being a young star in the spotlight. But before we get into where Celine is now, let's go back to where it all began. Because to really understand her journey, we need to start from the beginning. Ready to dive in? Celine Tam was born on November 22, 2007, in Hong Kong to a family where music wasn't just a hobby, it was a way of life. Her father, Dr. Steve Tam, was no ordinary dad. A professional vocal coach and a lifelong lover of music, Dr. Tam's passion for singing shaped the environment that Celine and her younger sister, Dion, grew up in. But wait, let's pause here. Can we talk about how both sisters were named after Celine Dion? That's not a coincidence. Celine Dion's voice and career were such a huge influence on Dr. Tam and his wife, Zed Minin, that they named both of their daughters after the Canadian superstar. That's a bold move, right? Naming your children after one of the most iconic voices in history pretty much sets the tone for the future. But here's the thing, Celine Tam more than lived up to the name. Growing up in the Tam household meant being surrounded by music all the time. It wasn't just background noise, it was a way of life. Classical music, pop, traditional Chinese music, it all played a role in shaping Celine's early musical experiences. From the very beginning, it was clear that music would be her calling. But no one could have predicted just how fast her talent would blossom. Most children sing for fun, whether it's at school, in the shower, or along with the radio. But Celine? She wasn't just singing for fun. She was already performing at a level far beyond her years. The moment that changed everything came when Celine was only 3 years old. Picture this. Celine is sitting in the back seat of the family car when she suddenly starts singing My Heart Will Go On. You know, the powerhouse ballad made famous by her namesake, Celine Dion. Now, for most 3-year-olds, it would be impressive just to remember the lyrics. But Celine's version was something else entirely. Her father, Dr. Tam, was blown away. Not only did his young daughter know the song, but she was hitting the notes with such clarity and emotion that it was hard to believe. From that moment on, Dr. Tam knew he had to nurture Celine's gift. And nurture it, he did. Dr. Tam immediately began training Celine, not just in Western pop music, but also in a variety of other genres. He wanted her to have a well-rounded understanding of music, which is why he introduced her to classical music and even songs from other cultures. He wasn't raising her to be a typical pop star, he was preparing her to be a versatile artist with the ability to perform across different genres and styles. While most kids her age were still learning the alphabet and playing with toys, Celine was already performing in public. By the time she was 5 years old, she had already participated in local singing competitions and events around Hong Kong. At each performance, audiences were blown away by her powerful voice and stage presence. Imagine being that young and already commanding the attention of crowds wherever you perform. Her talent was undeniable, and it wasn't long before Celine started gaining recognition beyond her local community. In the years leading up to her big break on AGT, she participated in a variety of singing competitions in Hong Kong and China. Each time, her voice captivated audiences, and it became clear that she wasn't just another talented child singer, she was something special. But despite her success at these local events, no one could have predicted the international fame that was about to come her way. Then came 2017, the year that would change everything. At the tender age of 9, Celine auditioned for Season 12 of America's Got Talent. Standing in front of judges Simon Cowell, Mel B, Heidi Klum, and Howie Mandel, Celine introduced herself with a big smile and a confidence that belied her age. She explained how she was named after Celine Dion and that her favorite song was, naturally, My Heart Will Go On. The audience was charmed, but no one quite knew what to expect. And then, Celine began to sing. From the very first note, it was clear that this was no ordinary performance. Her voice was powerful yet controlled, emotional yet polished. She hit every note perfectly, and the audience quickly realized they were witnessing something truly special. The judges were visibly moved. Simon Cowell, who is famously difficult to impress, couldn't help but express his admiration, calling her performance incredible. Mel B was practically in tears, and Celine's audition ended with a standing ovation from both the judges and the audience. From that moment on, Celine Tam was no longer just a talented singer from Hong Kong, she was an international sensation. Celine's journey on AGT didn't stop at the audition. Week after week, she continued to impress the judges and the audience with her powerful performances. She took on even more challenging songs, proving that she was more than capable of handling the pressures of performing on such a large stage. One of her standout performances on the show was her rendition of Michael Bolton's How Am I Supposed to Live Without You? This performance further solidified her status as a frontrunner in the competition. Her voice was filled with emotion, and she had a stage presence that made it impossible to look away. But despite her incredible performances, Celine's journey on AGT came to an end in the semifinals. While she didn't take home the grand prize, her time on the show had left a lasting impact. Millions of people around the world had fallen in love with her voice, and her future as a singer was full of promise. After AGT, Celine returned to Hong Kong as a local hero. Her hometown had been cheering her on throughout the competition, and her performances were the talk of the city. But while AGT had brought her global recognition, Celine didn't slow down once she returned home. In fact, her post-AGT career was just as impressive as her time on the show. She was invited to perform at numerous high-profile events in Hong Kong, China, and beyond. One of her most notable post-AGT appearances was on World's Got Talent in China, a competition that brings together some of the best contestants from Got Talent shows around the world. Once again, Celine wowed the audience with her stunning performances, proving that she was more than just a child star, she was becoming an international sensation. But fame is never easy, especially for someone so young. While Celine's post-AGT career seemed like a dream come true, it wasn't without its challenges.